everyone, welcome to our channel. Rebecca Stu and the crew. We have some new DIY ideas for you today, so let's go over our supplies. First, we'll use one of these or a few of these shrink and play sets from the Dollar Tree. They have Lilo and Stitch, the Disney Princess, Paw Patrol. There's also a Trolls version, but I did not pick that one up. We'll need a toaster oven, some heavy duty foil and tongs, a paper cutter and something to smooth out the plastic, scissors, a paintbrush, some Mod Podge. We're also going to use some glitter and then some ribbon. We'll need these pearls and some floral wire. So let's get crafty. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to learn how to shrink these extra large pieces. You see they already come colored. They're quite large. Some of them are about 6 or 8 inches tall, so they're pretty big, which makes these very difficult to shrink because they want to roll over on themselves, they stick to themselves, and it just becomes frustrating. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So what we're going to do first is just cut a hole in the top. That will be so we can add a hanger because these will be ornaments. We are making them for those little tiny Dollar Tree Christmas trees. I thought that would be fun. So there's our hole in the top. Now, if you notice with the shrink plastic, there's a rough and a shiny side. You want to put the rough side down on the foil, which we have this foil lined tray for our toaster oven. And then we'll take that heavy duty nonstick foil. And we're going to wrap that around the sides, but leave a little open spot in the front so you can see your shrink plastic. But you do want to wrap it tight so it doesn't lift up too much. Then you stick that in the toaster oven and you can actually watch it shrink. And as you see, instead of folding up on itself, it hits that foil and then eventually just flattens itself out. It says without the foil on top that you can have it flatten itself out, but often it will get stuck and it's sticky and you cannot get it to come apart. So always use that foil on top. It's the best way I've come up with to shrink these large pieces with. So we'll remove it with the tongs and then use something. I'm just using a little muffin tin to smooth out your plastic before it dries or cools down. If it cools down, you're not going to get it to lay flat. But you can see how well that works by just adding that foil to the top. Now, if you wrap the foil tight enough, you can just use your tongs to add new pieces in and remove them. So you don't have to keep taking the tray out and moving the foil. I do push down on the foil and make sure it's still tight enough while it shrinks. And then I just watch it for a few seconds, about a minute or so. It's done. And then we can go ahead and remove it with the tongs, flatten it out. And then your toaster oven's already hot and ready for the next one because you've got that foil packet in there. So this is what they look like all done. We've got the Paw Patrol, Lilo and Stitch, and the Disney Princess. And like I said, there's also a Trolls version, but I don't have that one. So now we can start decorating these to make them ornaments. So I'm going to take just some regular Mod Podge, put a very thin layer on the back, and then we're going to add some glitter to the back of these. For the Lilo and Stitch ones, I use this iridescent glitter. I'm kind of disappointed that I did. It looks pretty when I first do it, but then it doesn't really show through the clear plastic on the edges as well as I hoped it would. So just an FYI there, probably not my best choice of glitter. Some of the princess ones I used pink and purple glitter, mainly silver, which I think worked out really well. And then I used a gold glitter on the back of the Paw Patrol. Once they're mostly dry, then go ahead and add your second layer of Mod Podge just to seal that glitter in so it's not flaking off over time. So now you have two options here. You can just use the hooks from Dollar Tree that you put on ornaments, slide it through the top there and just make a very simple ornament to hang on the tree. Or we can decorate these up just a little bit more with some ribbon and pearls, which is what I'm going to do here in just a second. So we're going to actually take some thin ribbon and we're going to cut it into about a 10-inch piece. And then we will take that floral wire and we're going to create a large loop, basically making the eye of a needle. So we put that through the top of the ornament and then you want to thread through some ribbon and then just pull it through the top of your ornament. Now you've got your beads. You could go ahead and slide those on the top of the wire, put your two pieces of ribbon together and then put that through the eye of the needle that you created and then just pull it and that's going to pull that ribbon right through the pearls to decorate the top. And then make sure your ribbon's nice and straight. And then all you need to do now is tie a knot in the top And then you can cut off the little excess ribbon above the knot just to help clean it up a little bit. Make sure you have enough ribbon that you still have a loop, that you're able to use that loop to put on the branches of the tree. And we'll do this for all of our ornaments. So here's all of our Disney Princess ornaments, the Lilo and Stitch, and the Paw Patrol. As you can see, the color glitter works better. So now our second craft, the supplies, we'll need a chalk writer, a garland strand, a rotary cutter, a ruler, some scissors, and some hot glue and felt. So let's get crafty. So the first thing we're going to do is just cut apart our garlands. You get 6 Santas. They also come in a snowman version. And like I said, you get 6. So these really cute felt pieces all glued together. They're really well made. We're going to lay that on a square of felt we cut with our rotary cutter, using our ruler as a straight edge. And then we're just going to trace around the Santa using that chalk writer, because that's the best thing to use to write on that felt there and be able to still see it. So then we'll go ahead and use our scissors to cut around the chalk line that we just drew. Of course, your felt is going to be a little bit bigger if you stay right on the line, but we're going to trim this up once we're finished. My cat was so drawn to the smell of this felt. I don't know why he was so fascinated with it, but he kept trying to smell it and eventually tried to steal it from me. But I did get him to calm down. He eventually laid down once he realized he wasn't going to be able to take off with it. They're always helping me. If you guys watch these videos, I've always got one of them laying behind the craft, helping me out. Okay, so once the felt's cut out, we're just going to put some hot glue on the back of our Santa garland piece. And we'll do the sides and the bottom. You want to be pretty close to the sides, but not too close. You don't want it to pop out from underneath and look sloppy. And then just go ahead and glue that to that felt backing. We're essentially creating a pocket. So now we will just use the rotary cutter or some small scissors. I could only find this large pair. I think my kids have been stealing my scissors to help wrap gifts and things like that, and little projects that they're making. So I was down to 1 pair, which was this extra large pair. So it made it a little bit hard to trim this extra felt from around the topper, but I managed to get there. After a while, it just took a little bit of patience on my part. But I'm just going to trim it up, make it look really nice around the edges. And I just thought this was a fun, unique way to give gifts to a friend or an older person. You could even hang these on the tree if you like, and just slide a gift card in there of your choice to their favorite place. And I thought that was a fun way to give a special gift to someone. And like I said, you get 6 of those for $1.25. So now number 3, the supplies. We'll need a wire tie garland, some small little like pine cones and beads, one of these Dollar Tree signs, and one of the 3D craft kits. We're also going to use some chalk paint and a paintbrush. And then I'll need some hot glue and scissors. So let's get crafty. This is our third and final project today. So this little like metal piece is put in this groove inside the middle of this frame. So I thought this would work out really well to change this out and make it a winter scene. So you're just going to pop out that metal piece, and then you've got that groove right in the middle of that frame that fits this tree 3D DIY craft project perfectly. So all we're going to do is paint it completely white. You could of course paint these any color you like, and I am going to paint the front and the back because I don't plan on hanging this. I plan on putting it on a shelf. So if you walk on either side, you'll be able to see that it's completely finished on both sides. So I'll just wait for that chalk paint to dry. And once it's done, this is so easy. So you've got those little notches in the bottom and that groove in the center of the frame. And it's like they were made to go together. It's a little bit of a tight fit at first. You have to kind of push really hard to get the pieces down in the middle. And I was more afraid of just breaking the tree off and trying to get a good camera angle. If I wasn't so worried about making sure I was still showing it on camera, it would have been a lot easier to get the pieces down in there. So what I ended up doing was just having to set it upright and grab the trees from both sides and just slowly push it down. You don't want to push it all down on one side. You want to work your way back and forth on either side, trying to, get them to slide down evenly. If you do one side quickly, it'll be a little bit harder to get the other side down. So just work your way back and forth, slowly pushing those pieces down in the middle. And then the tree is wide enough that the tree actually slides in the groove on the side as well for the larger tree. And there it is. It just fits perfectly in there. And then once it's in there, it's not coming out. I used no glue, nothing. I just slid it down in there. And like I said, it's almost like it was made to fit there. And then if you want, you can take those wire tie garland. It's really up to you how you want to decorate the top, or even if you want to decorate it all. I'm just going to show you guys a couple different ideas that you could use. You can make this little wire tie garland and then add some beads to it. These have like a wire on the end. So I wrap that around the center. I add a few little white pearls or berries to the ends, and then I put a few of those extra small pine cones. These came in a bag over by like the rocks and stuff that they sell and the candles at the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to glue those tiny little pine cones in there, and then I glue it to the top. I ended up gluing some pine cones to the back of the greenery because, like I said, I'm putting this on a shelf. And just in case someone walked to the other side, I wanted to look like it was decorated on all sides. I just hold it in place until the glue dries. So this is what it looks like before the topper. That's with the topper, or you can even use some snowflakes to decorate with. And that's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And here are some other videos from our channel you might also enjoy. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.